Hi, it's Dustin with Pro AV School here. This video that you're about to see is part of the Crestron Basics Bootcamp course that we have that basically goes through building a program from start to finish and showing you kind of all the ins and outs of how I would approach building a Crestron program. You can find out more information at the link below. I would encourage you to check it out, and if it's for you, definitely sign up. I think it's a really great resource. In this video, we're going to be talking about kind of an advanced topic where we're going to show you how to use the feedback of signal present indication in the DMPS system to keep the power turned on a Blu-ray player. And in this case, we only have a toggle power button, so we need to use that feedback to make it happen. So here's the video, take a look. If we put a power button on here, the problem is this IR control doesn't have a discrete on and discrete off. So all we could do is a power toggle. Say it takes a couple seconds for it to turn on and a couple seconds for it to turn off. The cycle time is kind of annoying for users to have to manage. So what if I could use my intelligence from the program to actually maintain the state? And the reason I can do this is I have an actual feedback loop. I can tell it to turn on, then I can test to see if it did by looking at the signal present coming from the DMPS. So let me show you how to do this. If I look under AV control, and I think it's under inputs, and we just need to go back to the source selection to figure out what physical channel this was. So Blu-ray was physical channel 3. So on HDMI VGA 3, I'm going to look at this and go HDMI video source detected, selected video detected. Typically these will auto switch between VGA and HDMI, so I could probably do selected, but in this case I'll just do sync. Video source. I'm not sure what the difference is between video source and sync. Video source. So sync. I'm going to use HDMI sync. Blu-ray sync. Detected feedback. So I'm going to put this into a subfolder here, Blu-ray. And basically I'm going to accomplish this by telling it to turn on and seeing if it has turned on. So first of all, I'm going to have an oscillator because we need something that cycles, that's going to keep checking. And we could oscillate every, let's oscillate every 8 seconds, say. So sorry, high time 0.1 pulse, low time of 8 seconds. So this is every 8 seconds, or every 7.9 seconds probably, you're getting a 0.1 second pulse. And we'll drive this from system on feedback. Actually, no, we won't. We will be a little bit sneakier than this, and we'll drive this from the actual Blu-ray. So I'm going to do an equate with EQU, and Blu-ray is active. Because I'm pretty sure we need that. Actually, I think we already have that signal somewhere, or I missed it, because we have on the source page a little pop-up, not a pop-up, we have a little control there with a visibility join of 30. So I'm just going to see what that join is. No, we didn't define that, so we missed that. We need that anyways. Blu-ray is, let's say Blu-ray is selected. And this will be whenever source is 3. Say Blu-ray is selected. And I'm going to do a little trick here because I want to push it out to this signal, but I'd kind of like to keep that name. and I put in a buffer. And on the output side, I'm going to have this signal. On the input side, I'm going to have this signal and have it as a 1. So these two signals are always going to be the same. Sometimes you do that if you want to keep your signal names together or named a certain way for whatever reason. So now we're going to show that'll show that button. And speaking of which, yeah, we already handled the pop-up there, so that's fine. We just didn't have anything. We didn't have anything to show this Blu-ray control, which is supposed to show when you've selected Blu-ray. And to keep this on track, just in case the inputs and outputs change, I'm not actually going to use 3 from the source select. I'm going to use 4 from the source select feedback, because that's always going to be the 4th item on this list here. I think that's a smarter way to do it. So Blu-ray is selected. So whenever Blu-ray is selected, I'm also going to use that condition to drive my gate of my oscillator, which is going to start it checking, and I'll call it Blu-ray check os. And then we basically need a couple different conditions. And I'm going to do an and I'm going to say Blu-ray should be on. These will both work the same, or have the same comparison. Comparison is not the right word. We're matching with the same signal. So if it's on and if it should be on, let me rephrase that. We're actually checking a couple things. So if oscillator pulses and sync is detected, and actually sync is not detected, that's what I need. So I need a not in there. No sync. Pressing F6. Sync not detected. So this is the condition. On the check, every time we come around to check, if there's no sync and Blu-ray is selected, then we need to do Blu-ray power. So what that's going to do basically is every 8 seconds it's going to kind of evaluate. It's going to kind of evaluate the condition and say the oscillator is high, so then we care about these other two things. Sync is not detected. So like when we're not at the pulse point of the oscillator, like for the rest of the time when this is low, these two don't matter. It doesn't matter what's going on. So it only really matters when this is high. So when this is high, a pulse, it's showing no sync and Blu-ray is selected. We're going to pulse the power and try to turn it on. The next time it comes around, 8 seconds later, check oscillator will go high, sync not detected will be low, and Blu-ray is selected will be high. You won't get a pulse there, so it won't try to turn it back on. Now the only thing we didn't really do here is if it should be off. So that's kind of a different condition. So it's the same oscillator. If the sync is detected and the Blu-ray is not selected. So I'm going to change this not here and do an M not, a multiple not. I'll say no sync, no, not selected. Basically, it's just a bunch of knots together. You can expand them. I just pressed Alt plus there. So you can have a couple things in the same spot, just for making things kind of cleaner. And I'm just going to delete this one. Press delete. Because I want Blu-ray sync detected, and then I also want Blu-ray is selected. And I'm going to press F6 here. Blu-ray is not selected. So in this condition here, every time you come around every 8 seconds, if Blu-ray sync is detected but it's not selected, we want to turn it off. Well, the off command is the same as the on command. It's just how we're checking against it, basically. So we hit that, we turn it off. 8 seconds later, the oscillator will pop up. So these will be relevant. Sync detected will be low, so nothing will pass. So it's kind of a two-way, hits the same command to get a different result, and it only works because we have that feedback loop. So if you're troubleshooting something like this, you want to make sure that your sync detect is actually giving you a valid signal, otherwise it's just not going to work. This clip was one of the topics covered in the Pro AV School Crestron Basics Bootcamp course. To find out more information about the course and sign up, you can go to the link below. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll have more videos on the channel in the future. Thank you.